We observe that many refugees and candidates coming from Ukraine, they are and they establish their own entrepreneurship, so their own companies.
Ukrainians brings additional labor force, the younger generation, more knowledge, cheaper labor force, and of course consumer effect.
Hello and welcome to Ukrainian Flames, a special project by Ukrainian Media Center and NGO Euro-Atlantic Coast. I'm your host, Varvara Shmudelyova. In today's episode, we'd like to explore how immigrants from Ukraine affect the economies and GDP growth of host countries. Opposite to the widespread opinion, according to our experts, immigrants and refugees actually boost the economies of the host countries, since they create more profit for businesses and contribute to the GDP growth with customer effect. If you want to learn more about this subject, please continue watching this video and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss our videos in the future. To begin with, please welcome Lukasz, Koszczol, CEO of the recruitment agency Job Impulse Polska. He will describe the Polish labor market and how Ukrainian immigrants influence it in various periods of time.
Hi, hello, my name is Lukasz Koszczol. I'm the CEO of Job Impulse Polska. We are one of the 10 biggest temporary work and recruitment agencies in Poland, and we are part of global Job Impulse group, which is consisting out of and existing in more than 10 countries in Europe, United States, Mexico, and Asia. It's a pleasure for having this possibility of discussing with you the topic of Polish labor market and foreigners, employees from Ukraine that are present and coming to the Polish labor market, and not only Polish, but European labor market as well. And let me start sharing my thoughts and my input into the discussion with a major date that happened on the 24th of February 2022, because the labor market was processing and was existing a slightly different regarding Ukrainian candidates and Ukrainian employees before the war and after the war. Poland is one of the countries for the last year that have been and has the lowest unemployment rate in the whole EU. It is around 4 up to 5%. So we are in the top 3 countries like Czech Republic, like Germany or UK, with the lowest unemployment rate in the whole EU. And this creates a situation when the economy needs immigrants, needs additional labor force, so needs people to come and work, not only Polish citizens, but foreigners as well. The biggest group of foreigners that came to Poland for the last more than 5 years are Ukrainian citizens, and most of them were male before the war. And that's why I'm putting this topic and this crucial situation, I mean the war, into our conversation, because after the war we observed that in Poland, but as well in the whole EU, the amount of candidates that are available and put their access for work, most of them are female candidates, which is of course obvious, because the male part and men from Ukraine are right now fighting in war. That's why they cannot leave country and they are engaged in this conflict. That's why they are not participating as labor force in not only in Poland, but in all EU and all the countries in European Union. This created a situation when the employers needed and still needs to adjust to the situation, because many of job profiles, many positions in the employers' companies until 2022 were only available for men. Right now, those positions and profiles were or are being still transferred, so our clients or the employers can hire women as well. I can give you a few examples. One of them is, for example, forklift operator. Before the war, 90% of candidates and possible positions were only available for men. Our clients were hiring almost only men. 9 out of 10 candidates were male. Right now, those positions and profiles, I mean the forklift operators, are available for women candidates as well. And our statistics show that it is 50% to 50% between male and female candidates for this type of the position. I mean the forklift operators. Another example is dedicated for well-educated candidates from the IT sector, specifically saying software developers. And before the war, 2 out of 3 candidates from Ukraine were male candidates, so men interested into the work as a software developer, not only for Polish companies, but for the Western companies, EU companies as well. Right now, after the war, more than half of candidates working remotely from homes or from offices located in Poland are female candidates, and female citizens of Ukraine are well educated, and they are engaging work as software developers. I mean the front-end and back-end developers with full-stack skills as well, or UX designers, web designers, and they started work for the companies, most of them the Western companies located in Western EU countries. So those examples show how the labor market is adjusting for the potential that is coming with female candidates from Ukraine. Of course, it is highly connected with the war situation and refugee status they have already. They are coming very often to Poland, and then they are interested going still west to work in countries like Germany, Netherlands, Belgium, or France, or Austria, Switzerland, or Italy. So this is my short comment to the situation, to the labor market situation. But I would like to underline as well that working in Poland, I mean both male and female employees from Ukraine. Those employees create, of course, internal consumption in Poland. So they are not only employees, but they are clients and customers as well. So they input a lot into the Polish economy. And as a clients, they are consumers. And as consumers, they are, of course, participating in the GDP growth in Poland. And they are creating workplaces as well. So this is their input as well, not only as employees, but as customers, clients, and consumers. So they are buying Polish and not only Polish goods, and that's why they are inputting a lot into the Polish economy. And at the end, I would like to underline another group, Ukrainian entrepreneurs, because we observe that many refugees and candidates coming from Ukraine, they are and they establish their own entrepreneurship, so their own companies, and they start working as their own on their own bill and as companies owners. they have a lot of success on the Polish market, and they are being transferred as employers. So they are hiring more people, not only foreigners, but Polish employees as well. And because they are creating companies that grow, it's another type of input into the Polish economy and GDP growth.
Next, please hear from Andrii Haydutskiy, Doctor of Economics, expert in immigration policy and development of financial and banking programs for immigrants and the diaspora. He will talk about different groups of Ukrainian immigrants and their influence on the national economies of the host countries.
I am Andrii Haydutskiy. I am a doctor of science in economics, and I am a key expert in Ukraine on banking and migration issues. I spent about 20 years to search the influence of Ukrainian migration on economic development of European countries and Ukraine as well. Maybe you know that Ukraine is one of the biggest recipients of the remittances from over 10 million of Ukrainians who live abroad. So this is a key source of Ukrainian development. And I believe for the next 10 years, Ukrainians will be the strongest assets of our country renovation. And I believe that the remittance capital from abroad will be the key financial source for our economic growth. 10 million of Ukrainians live abroad. We have actually three types of Ukrainians. First is Ukrainian diaspora, then Ukrainian migrants who leave the country about 10, 20 years ago. And the third one is Ukrainian refugees. As of now, we have about 5 million of Ukrainian diaspora, 5 million of Ukrainian immigrants, and about 8 million of Ukrainian refugees who mostly stay now in European countries. And of course, the influence of all these three parts of Ukrainians are quite huge in European countries and in North America. But let's put attention on Ukrainian migrants and Ukrainian refugees in European Union. First of all, I would like to tell about the influence of Ukrainian migrants who already stay in Europe, especially in Poland, for about 5-10 years. Because when European integration started in 2005, when Poland integrated into European Union, millions of Ukrainians moved to Poland to work there. So in 2021, last year, the year before the war, there were about 2 million of Ukrainians who were working there. And their influence on Polish GDP growth was quite high. For example, in 2021, Polish GDP growth for 6.8%, and about 15% of this growth were done by over 2 million of Ukrainians there. But in nominal comparison, the role of Ukrainians is much higher. Average Ukrainian created almost $6,000 in GDP in Poland in 2021. But the average Polish created only about $2,000 of GDP. This is because of the lower salary for Ukrainians in that country. And it means that the Polish business receive more added value and more profits. And also this is because of the demographic changes in the country. Many Polish people are old enough and they are not working anymore, or they don't want to work. So the Ukrainians are more productive in Poland than the native residents. And now let's move to year 2022, when millions of Ukrainian refugees appeared in European Union. and about 1.5 million in Poland. So now we have almost 4 million of Ukrainians in Poland. In total, Ukrainian refugees expenditures in European Union were over $20 billion. I think it is 10 times higher than in 2021. But the biggest consumer effect was in March, May 2022. After that, the effect declined to average year level. How new Ukrainians will help Polish economy to grow? I believe it will be very good for Polish economy. There are last recent Deloitte estimation from Deloitte company, and they estimated that additional GDP growth could be from 0.2 to 3.5% in the next 5 years. Is it a lot or not? Of course it is a lot, because for 2023 there are estimations for Polish GDP growth about 0.7. And if Ukrainians will give additional 0.2, of course it is a lot of. And I think the countries, especially Poland, Czech Republic, and other Eastern European members of EU, they will do everything to try to hook the Ukrainians and motivate them to stay in host country, because Ukrainians brings additional labor force, the younger generation, more knowledge, cheaper labor force, and of course consumer effect.
You've been watching a special project by Ukraine Media Center and Euro-Atlantic course dedicated to the Russian-Ukrainian war, Ukrainian Flames. In the description under this video, you can find information on how you can help Ukraine fight Russian aggression. If you find our work useful, please like and share this video. Slava Ukraini!